She knows what's going on in Orlando. Big game. Why don't you get your comments in before we go to LeBron James, just about this team winning their 12th in a row on the road, and maybe it was sloppy, but a win's a win, getting it done.
Yeah. For the most part, this team has been playing very consistent, good defense throughout this early season. 82 games, you're going to have a ugly game sometimes. It's just going to happen. I thought the third quarter for the Lakers, only scoring 18 points, allowed Magic to get their momentum and get some confidence, but they know how to win. And that's when it comes down to leadership. LeBron James, triple-double. I mean, he's the guy that kept things intact with 11 rebounds and 10 assists for 25 points. I also thought in a critical part of the game, Dudley and Caruso came in and hit some big shots. Dudley with 9, Caruso with 7, kind of keep them in the game. So it was a sloppy game. But sometimes you got to win sloppy, and they're able to do that.
Yeah, it's not quite the template that the Lakers want to follow going forward. You have a great first quarter. You give up only 9 points, the fewest in forever for the Lakers. You have a nice 24-point cushion in the second quarter. Everyone's happy in Lakerland. And then you kind of fade slowly a little bit, but recover in the end. Like you said, James, some pretty nice contributions from Avery Bradley. In the fourth quarter, he had a nice little bucket. Caruso, yet again, kind of pushing that lead up. KCP. 4 threes, 15 points. He is not ready to let go of that starting gig yet, is he?
Yeah, KCP came up big with those 4 threes, a couple of those late as well. He stopped a couple of runs with three-pointers. Karan, let's talk LeBron James. Big Game had talked about the leadership, and on a night where Anthony Davis is not scoring 50 or 40, LeBron James is the guy that gets you that triple-double. He now has 6 on the year, and he continues to move up that all-time list, and LeBron James getting it done with 25, 11, and 10, and there he is, 5th with 87.
Look, he's battle-tested, and you need guys to step up in those moments, and, you know, the best player on the planet is going to do that on a consistent basis. You know, shows no signs of declining. I thought he stepped up in a major way, knocking down outside shots, you know, facilitating, looking for his teammates, was able to manufacture a triple-double in a really ugly game, but most importantly, get a quality win.
Yeah, you said it right, Geet. A few nights ago, Anthony Davis electrified Staples Center. 50-point game, as it was called by LeBron. 50-burger. You know, whatever it was amazing. Tonight, he didn't quite have it. All right, he was 6 for 20 from the field. He had, 16 points or whatever it was. He didn't have it on the scoring end. No problem. LeBron James saying, all right, we're on the road against a team under 500. I'll take over. We cannot start this 5-game trip with an L.
Yeah, Lakers heading to South Beach. They played Miami on Friday. Let's get you to the highlights. Lakers coming into this one with the best Western Conference record at 21-3. You're looking for the 96-87. The Lakers are now 22-3. They've won 12 road games in a row. They've won 5 games in a row, and they head to Miami to play the Heat. Been here the whole time. LeBron gets his 6th triple-double this season. Time. He's now speaking in the locker room with Mike Trudell.
Ron, did this feel a little bit more like early in the season when you guys kind of grinding wins out with defense, didn't necessarily have the offensive flow the whole time? Or what did you think was the overall theme tonight?
No, it felt like the first game on an East Coast road trip coming from West. That's what it felt like. You know, pretty much them first couple games, it's going to be tough because you've been on West Coast time the whole time. So we've been, we're 3 hours before, behind. But, we started off the game, playing really good basketball, but we let them back in the third quarter, and we had to grind it out, which we're capable of doing that. We're capable of winning games in the high hundreds or winning games in the low hundreds, or the 90s. So, it was a good game for us.
Part of the point with the roster, right, is that you and AD are going to attract a lot of attention. Guys like Dudley, it's 3 threes. KCP hits 4. Caruso, a couple off the bench. That's kind of the point, right? I mean,
that's what our depth is all about. When guys go down, next man up. We found out that Kuz wasn't playing. JD's number was called, and he stepped right in. We got true professionals on this team that's ready for action whenever, and that's what it's all about.
12 straight wins on the road is just not easy in the NBA, no matter what the circumstances are. What has been the connective theme as you guys have been winning in all these arenas?
By just taking one game at a time. We take one game at a time and just try to be as great as we can throughout that 48-minute game, and then move on to the next one. We've just been playing good ball away from Staples.
25-point triple-double. When did you decide to assert your will when they started cutting the lead in the third quarter?
I assert my will when I step on the floor. It's all about just trying to make the right plays, the right passes, the right reads as a point guard on the team, and do the things defensively too to help our team win.
LeBron, talking about that, you always played different positions, but playing the point guard this year exclusively, you think that has been the key for you guys to have your best starting career?
No, I think everyone just playing their roles, buying into what the system is, and trusting one another. That's what's got us off to a really good start. We believe in each other. We want each other to succeed. We trust what Coach Vogel and the coaching staff game plan is every single night. We just try to execute that.
Talking about when you went to Miami, Wade opened the arms, being the number 1 guy there.
Huh?
He opened the arms in Miami, Dwayne Wade, for you to be the guy coming in. Do you take the same approach with AD coming to LA?
Yeah, absolutely. I think AD's an unbelievable talent, unbelievable person. More importantly, he's a better person than he's even a basketball player, and that may surprise you. So, it's our job, it's my job to try to make him feel as comfortable as possible to help lead this ball club.
Mike asked you about winning 12 in a row on the road, but how much does it help you that even in the most hostile buildings, there is a lot of purple and gold in the stands? How much do you guys notice that there is an affinity for this team no matter where you go?
The fact that Laker Nation travel all over the world and all over the states, when we travel, we feel like our fans come out and travel with us. It's a very humbling thing, and it's our job to go out there and perform well in front of them. Because they take time to follow us, and so like we said, we just go out there and try to execute and make them proud. So it's a pretty cool feeling.
You believe that the Lakers are the best team in the NBA right now?
It's not about that. We just want to continue to get better. We want to be the best team for one another every night, and just try to get better throughout the whole game, and move on to the next. So it's not about everything.
Every night you guys come out to play with urgency. How do you mentally prepare yourself and the team every night, knowing that other teams are taking rest, low management? How do you prepare yourself and the team as a leader?
I don't really get involved in whatever other teams are doing. It's up to me as one of the leaders of the team to make sure that we're as laser focused as possible. We have an opportunity to play a beautiful game and go out and play it at a high level, and that's what we want to do.
When the Magic tied it 71-71, did you say anything to the team? Because after that, you guys went on a run.
No.
Was that a conscious decision for you to get the other players more involved after they tied the game? You rattled off a few assists there.
No, it's just how the game kind of conducted itself after that. They do a good job of trying to shrink in the floor, packing the paint. It's my job to get my shooters open, get my guys open looks when I'm attracting defenses.
Is that a part of you making a transition to point guard?
No.
Is it any different?
No. I've been that way since I started playing basketball.
Everybody in this team has to accept a role, obviously. The fact that Dwight he's never been in a role like this really in his life, and he's flourished in it, he's enjoying it. How critical has that been to the start you guys had?
He's thriving. He's thriving. It's going to add more years on his career. And it's going to add an ingredient to our chain for success because of the role that he's accepting. And he's just making the most of it every single night. Defending at a high level, rebounding, blocking shots, catching lobs, and with zero ego. When his number is called, he goes out there. When he's subbed out, he cheers on his teammates every single night. And we were lucky to be able to snatch him up, late in the summer like that. But we're happy to have him.
Thanks, guys.
Time for a little Access 360. Tough Juice Caron Butler is going to do that for us. Defense. Are you going to the wall with those shoes so everyone can see him?
I'm staying put.
I
had to go. He had a 50 burger last time, so I had to run to the wall.
Yeah.
This time, we got a quality win on the road. We'll stay put.
I understand.
You do have amazing kicks.
I feel it.
Yeah, thank you, man.
I just want everyone to see your shoes.
It's collective effort. And you see Anthony Davis's communication, controlling the paint, and you're going to see a drive right here, and watch AD just come and make himself available, and his presence alone is going to force that kick-out shot, grabbing the rebound and getting us right into the flow of the offense. And once again, Anthony Davis, guarding Gordon, much smaller guy, a versatile guy, explosive at that wing position. Anthony Davis using his length, being extremely smart, using his high basketball IQ, and getting that little deflection on that jump shot. Now, him and LeBron in any pick and roll, they could switch, but he's just going to stay in front of the offensive guy, Terrence Ross, Gonna just get the steal. Look, they're laughing about it. Like, man, you can't do that on me, man. I got too many arms, man. I got the plastic arms right here. But I love the fact that even though offensively you're not engaged as you want, like you're shooting a low percentage, but you're still trying to find a way to have your impact on the game.
I just see Michael Carter-Williams going to the goal. He had a layup. That was a layup. But he saw AD, and he threw it out. And that doesn't go on the stat sheet as anything, but to me that's eliminating a shot attempt. He's there, and they know he's there, and they don't even make the attempt against him sometimes because they know he's going to smash it.
It's a great point. And Brez, check out this. Some of the longest streaks in Laker history.
This is amazing.
You don't see the Smush Parker-led Laker team on that list, do you?
You do not. This is crazy. I mean, think about 9 new players on this team. I mean, including Anthony Davis. I mean, he's obviously a gifted player, but you'd think it would take some time to gel. Not so fast. 12 in a row on the road. You guys played so often on the road. This is a big deal. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome stat. Yeah. More to come. Lakers get the road trip start. How impressed are you with this team, James? Just the fact that maybe you don't play well, maybe it gets sloppy, maybe it gets tight, but they're still able to focus with that veteran group and not look ahead to a place like Miami, which can be dangerous. Well, more for younger teams.
Yeah, it's impossible to have 82 games of 48 minutes of good basketball. So sometimes you got to win the small little battles, and I think the Lakers are capable of doing that. They've shown that they can have a deficit in the first half and turn it on and lock people up. So that's veteranism. You know, you're tired sometimes, you're not into it, but you find those 4 or 5 minute spurts. LeBron, AD, guys like Bradley, even veterans, they know how to do that. So that's a good asset to have.
How much of it, too, Karan and Brez, when you look at this team, you know, LeBron often will say, hey, man, we're just in it and playing, but then when we step away, we realize, wow, we're doing what Kobe and Shaq did in terms of the stats with the consecutive games with over 70 points. But for this team, they know where they're at right now. They know where the Bucks are at. They know what's about to happen in about a week. But they also know that they've never lost away from home. And there are things that matter to these guys. Best starts in franchise history, winning the most in a row. I mean, those kind of things you start to know, and that can get you going in the fourth quarter if you're dragging.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you fall back to the numbers game. And, you know, one thing that's for certain when I see this team playing, and I always see LeBron James with 10-plus assists or 20-plus points, then the Lakers are usually 16-0 in those situations. So I know that once he's performing at an amazing clip, it's not always scoring, but just assisting the basketball, scoring 20 points. They believe that they can beat anyone, anywhere, at any given time. Ugly, behind, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the way the Lakers have been playing most of the season. Only 20 assists, you know. So I think they might have missed Rondo a little bit tonight, trying to incorporate Avery Bradley back into the lineup. So they got that accomplished at least. And of the 5 games on this trip, this one was probably the least exciting for the players. I mean, just not a lot to get up for. You know, it's Orlando. They're a game under 500. Now you go to Miami. They're undefeated at home. Then you have Atlanta. You know, Trae Young is amazing. He can do some things with the ball. Then you go to Indiana. The Lakers always have some crazy things going on in Indy. And, of course, you finish in Milwaukee. So the next 4 games all have some storyline that Frank Vogel and the players can kind of wrap their minds around. This game just didn't have that.
Does Dwayne Wade show up in Miami for the games?
Yeah, I mean, all sorts of things.
He lives in L.A. now, though.
Yeah. Karan might know.
I don't think so. He's comfortable out here doing this thing right now.
Working out, hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out. Spent a lot of time with him this last couple of days, so he's good.
All right, are we going to AD? I believe he's ready. Let's go inside the Lakers locker room. Anthony Davis is with Allie.
Anthony, coming off a season high for you guys in scoring tonight, you guys had to win in a different way. How would you describe what this one took?
Effort. You know, we turned the ball over a lot in the third quarter and let them get back in the game. Even a little bit in the second. We know they're protect the paint team. They're very handsy, and they got their hands on a lot of basketballs tonight, especially in the third quarter, which allowed them to get out in transition and get a lot of easy buckets to cut that lead down. So, you know, we'll take the win. Obviously, we didn't play our best on both ends of the floor, but, you know, anytime you can get a win on the road, we'll take it.
You're not a guy that's just about offense, but the way they were collapsing inside, of course, making it tough at the rim, how would you kind of assess just your night?
I mean, I had some good looks. I missed them. think I made some right plays, passing the ball to shooters, so just got to keep making reads, making the right plays, finding my teammates, and, making sure that, I put the ball in the right places and can just continue to be aggressive.
Is the start of a road trip a good time to kind of win gritty and win ugly and kind of remind yourselves what you're up against?
They're a team that's not going to quit, so even though we were up early in the first quarter, we knew they were going to make a run. I mean, we all on the road, they're at home, so they got the crowd, behind them. But, like I say, anytime we can, get a win on the road, we'll take it. But the thing is, we can learn from all the stuff all the mistakes that we made, is correctable, and stuff that we did on our own. Turning the ball over in the paint, knowing that they like to create turnovers, and which helps them in their fast break game. So for us, we just got to make sure that we take care of the basketball and get good shots down the floor. But we'll take this win. Every win is not going to be a pretty win, but as long as we win, we'll take it.
When you're missing arguably the two leaders of your bench in Rondo and Kuz, how much more vital does that make what you were able to get from Dudley tonight?
Oh yeah, Dud's played well. Hit some threes, did some good things, moving the basketball on the offensive end, did some good defensive plays. He's a vet. He always stays ready. He knows how to play the game of basketball. So, anytime his number is called, he's ready. So, glad to have a guy like that, who's always ready, no matter what the circumstances are.
The double technical he got, you think he deserved that?
I don't think he should have been ejected, but he was. He's one thing about us, we're going to have each other's back no matter what. And he stood up for his brother, and I don't think it was deserving of an ejection, but that's what they call it, So we have to live with it, and like I said, we through the midst of everything that was going on in the game, especially around that time, we were able to come out with a win.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, AD.
Lakers are back in action on Friday when they take on the Miami Heat. Tip-off is set for 4. We'll get you ready for game time with Lake Show at 2:30. Pre-game Lake Show, followed by Access Sportsnet Lakers starting at 3 right here on Spectrum Sportsnet. Much more ahead. Lakers pick up their 12th straight road win with a 96-87 win over the Magic. We'll take you back inside the Lakers locker room and hear from LeBron.
Well, I think we came out so strong defensively and held them to 9 points, and probably let our guard down after that. Felt like it was going to be easy, and this is a scrappy team we're playing. They're a good team. They almost beat Milwaukee on the road, so we kept reminding them that it's a 48-minute game. But I think human nature, after the way we started in that first quarter, we probably let our guard down some.
How would you assess the night that Anthony Davis had? It's easy to look at him and think he's great every single night, but one might think that this is a little slower of a night for him.
Couple of blocks, couple of steals, active on the glass. Didn't shoot the ball well or score the ball well, but definitely impacted the game, was a big part of the win.
Sir, you were outscored in the second half, 45-49 for the Magic. How key was LeBron James' triple-double tonight in getting the victory?
Yeah, LeBron was great, in particular down the stretch. Just keeping the lead at a healthy distance, making weak side plays on the defensive end, and he quarterbacks the action for us. Calling the plays down the stretch, and we always trust our point guards to do that. And he's playing that position for us, and he was key in the win.
You're going to have a game where you win ugly. Is it good to do it at the beginning of a 5-game road trip?
Yeah, I'm proud of our guys. It's tough to fly cross country, and and win that first game. And what I love about this win is, we can win a variety of different ways. We have great versatility. Last game we scored 140 points. Okay, and we're able to secure that victory in a different style of game. This one was more of a grinded-out game, and our defense held up. We won scoring 96 points. So, I love our versatility.
Kyle and Rajon are such foundational pieces of your bench. How do you think they fared without those guys tonight?
Well, the guys stepped up. Duds in particular. Credit him for staying ready, and doesn't play a lot. Knows his role, knows that he's not going to play on a night-to-night basis, but when he's needed, he's going to come in and produce. I think he's a plus 16 for the game, knocked down 3 threes, stood up for some teammates, got himself run out of here, and but it was just he was pivotal in the win.
Scoreless in the first half, Jonathan Isaac ended up with 19 points for the game. Can you explain his game?
He's a terrific player. He's growing every game. I'm happy for the kid. He's an elite defender, and his offense has really picked up in the last year and a half or so. And he gave us a great second half.
What a nice game for you guys. What have you seen in terms of his confidence playing with that starting group?
It's not just playing with the starting group. He's just playing with confidence in general. He's comfortable in our system. Embracing the role of really working hard on the defensive end, guarding one of the other team's best perimeter players, and knocking down big shots. We knew this was going to be a second side game, where they're going to flood to the strong side, and the shooters were going to get shots on the backside. And he made some big ones.
All right, Jared, just kind of big picture on the game-wise. LeBron was talking about you make the flight across the country, the early start. Like in your experience, your career, like what's the key to getting a win like that when it's not ideal circumstances?
I mean, it's tough because time zone, and then you get your first game here. Practice was at like 7 at night, so for us, it's probably getting enough sleep. We have optional shoot around, so guys were rested, and as you saw, first quarter was huge for us, got in a huge lead. Second quarter, kind of let our guards down. They came back, and then third quarter and fourth, you're in a battle, and things got a little chippy, and hopefully I don't get fined, and we move on and get ready to go to Miami. You see my Miami outfit already. I'm already ready to go.
You mentioned things get chippy. Of course, you came in and, after Dwight got shoved, you came in, do a little shove. But we've seen that from you in your career before, right? That's kind of if somebody's going to push one of your teammates. Is it that simple?
I think for one, it was, multiple guys, and, it was getting chippy already with a lot of fouls not being called both ways. And then for that, pushing someone in the back. And so just a push. I thought it should have been double tech in that, but they want to eject. They can eject. It's not that big of a deal. But, no, for sure, not just me. You guys stand up for your guys. Sometimes it's pushing. Sometimes it's a hard foul. Sometimes it's whatever you have to do. And this time was just a push, and I couldn't really get to him, so I just pushed the pile, man. Make sure everybody moves.
You had 3 threes in this one, and you also passed up some open looks. But that was you probably had that in your mindset. Kuz was not going to play. You knew that you were going to be needed in this case, no?
I did. Usually my pregame workout is doing cardio, shooting before. I do lift and do cardio after the game just to stay ready. I knew my number. The numbers are eventually going to get called. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to come here. I knew I would have to play every day. I knew that you had AD and Kuzma, so I might play 40 to 50 games. But as you know, it's a long season. People miss games. Braun, AD are going to miss, and as someone who hasn't played in that stretch to come out there and play and shoot the ball well, I shot the ball a little bit better than expected. A couple threes I passed up. I was trying to get Avery a couple threes, get him going, get back in the flow, and sometimes I don't mind passing up shots for guys that we need to get back in rhythm later in the season, and got the win.
Aware of some of the physicality on Dwight, given his history here and everything he's gone through?
For one, it goes both ways. Dwight gets fouled a lot, but Dwight fouls a lot. So, it goes a little bit of both. And sometimes it's going to be chippy, and sometimes they jack him up, and sometimes it's warranted the other way around. And so for that I don't care if my teammates are in the wrong or not. It's like you have a son, you got kids at home, and if they're in trouble, you're going to stand up for your son regardless of it. If it's a teacher going at him, it's my son, and it's my
And the Lakers pick up their 22nd win of the season, and they are off to one of the best starts in franchise history. Of course, the 71-72 team. You see that 22-3. They won the championship. 85-86 started out 22-3. And of course, if you want to just look at recent memory, 09 and 2010 started out 21-4 and 21-4. And of course, the result, there was a parade.
That was sweet.
That's new.
Something different.
Something different, huh?
A little flavor.
I like that a lot right there. Now you got to come up with that every time. All right, big game. We're going to go inside access for you. The Lakers are second in the league in second chance points. Dwight Howard returning to Orlando once again. He's shooting 74% on second chance opportunities. That's the best in the NBA. What does it do for a team's offense when Dwight is playing like that on the offensive glass?
Yeah, he knows what his role is, and he's dug into his role. He's not looking for a play to be called for him, so he's not looking for the ball on any sets. All he's doing is being physical, and he knows when that shot goes up, he's going to put himself in position to get that ball, and that's what he does. He reads the shot takers, and he's always roaming around, and then he'll use his body, his physicality. He'll move people around. He hits people in there, and then when he gets the ball, he's a beast at taking it back up. A lot of them are alley-oops, a lot of them are easy putbacks, but it's just his attention to details. He knows what his job is, and he knows how to get to the points where he can get extra rebounds.
Yeah, I think, you hit that right on the nail right there where you say he knows himself, and he's staying in the paint, staying around the basket. He's setting hard screens. He's diving. He's protecting the paint. Like, he's just fun to watch. Like, he's bought in pretty much more than anyone, and I think once he bought in, the future Hall of Famer, everybody else followed.
Yeah, and I want to show you guys this because we're going to make a point. This is a cool photo. It's Dwight Howard, pre-game against Minnesota, and year 1 with Orlando. So year 1 versus year 16. Dwight Howard still kissing the rim, it said. But, James, I would say, I know he doesn't put up the numbers that he did when he was in Orlando. He's a 6-time All-Star. That's what's going to get him in the Hall of Fame. He was a superstar. But he's just as impactful.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that?
Numbers matter, especially if you're AD, you're dropping 50. Yeah. If you're getting 13 or 14 assists every night like LeBron. But then there are games with no numbers. Caruso, only 2 points one game, but had the highest plus-minus of the whole game. Dwight Howard's that type of guy. He doesn't look for the ball. High percentage shots. He shot that 1 3. Yeah. Knocked it down. That was fun.
Cash.
But, it's good to see a future Hall of Famer who could have gone to any team and said, look, give me the ball inside. I want to score. But he didn't. Yeah. He's like, this is the role I want. It's 16. I want to have fun again. And that's why he's having fun. I'm not saying he hadn't, but this is some real authentic fun night in and night out for the young fella.
Switching gears, Markelle Fultz in his first year in Orlando. He's not playing tonight, but he's averaging 12 points on 48% from the field. He's dishing out 4 assists per game. There was a lot of scrutiny surrounding the first overall pick in his first 2 years in Philly because of the struggles with injuries and the hitch in the shot. And he is out tonight with a stomach virus. I think we're all a little bummed on that. I know you are, Karan, because you have a relationship with him. You worked with Markelle in this offseason. Just take us through that process. What changed for him?
He was no longer injured.
Yeah.
One, he was injured and he was hurt. And he was trying to compensate and still be out there on that platform. Now, you cannot compensate and be out there with the world best.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. So this summer, I think that he took a step back to really clear his mind, get healthy, and then start getting better. And he went back to the fundamental basics, and he started playing the game of basketball. He started receiving the information that people was pouring into him because he was able to while healthy. And then now he's able to play, solid basketball, and I think he's trending in the right direction.
How big of a mental hurdle was it?
It was huge.
Yeah.
Because when you're hurt, you're still trying to play the game that you love, and you're thinking that, other things are going on because you can't perform at that level. And then when you're telling someone you're hurt, you're being misevaluated, misdiagnosed over there with the 76ers. So the change of scenery was very important for him.
Love a comeback story, right, James?
I do. And for a young kid, it is the toughest thing to do, Geeter, because in college, you're not pampered, but you're taken care of.
You're the man.
The sense of urgency is not as bad as in the NBA. Now, when you get to the NBA, everybody around you, doctors, GMs, it's their job to get you on the floor. So sometimes, they're pushing you a little bit. When you're a young kid, you have all this anxiety going on and fear because you know how you feel, and the doctors are telling you, okay, you can go back. So it's tough on young people, and it's good to have mentor Tough Juice here to come in and kind of settle you down and talk to you and get you back on track.
Lakers and Magic are about 30 minutes away from tip-off. Avery Bradley is back after missing 13 games with a hairline fracture.
Fournier misses.
Lakers win. Hey, guys, it's not going to be that exciting and awesome every single night. We'll take it at 96-87. The Lakers are now 22-3. They've won 12 road games in a row. They've won 5 games in a row, and they head to Miami to play the Heat on Friday. Let's hear